Well, I've had a day today, haven't I? We went up to Red this morning. I went up the 199 steps. Went to Red Car. Came back. Well, we're going to do the 199 steps now up to Whitby Abbey, like I did this morning. So just hold on with me. I've not got Toby with me today. Took Toby out and he decided to go on strike. He were having it. We walked down here. Yeah, we carried on walking down here. Me and Toby. We got as far as here and he dug in. I said, come on, Tobes. We moved down a bit more. He dug in again, just here. Tried again and we got to this signpost. And that were it. He weren't having it. He turned round. He wanted to go back to his own mother. So I've took him home. Well, you got me anyhow. We're going to do a bit of something, be a bit different to what we've done. But we're definitely going to go up the steps. We're going to go up a set of steps and we're going to come down with 199 steps and then we're going to make our way back. So the walk's going to be about 4.5 miles, I think. This morning I did 5 miles, but I don't think I'll be quite that far. My target's 10 miles for today. I've done just over 6 here and there, but I think this will take me about 4.5. So I know I'm a bit late. But being on holiday, I can't always do things when I want. As I said, we had a good day today. We were in Red Car. Went up the South Gar. Saw some ships coming in. I'll put some pictures on later. I should actually have took some video footage and stuck that on, but I just didn't get around to it. So what we're going to do first of all, we're going to have a walk on the river Esk, on the side of the river Esk. So we'll walk on the bank of that and then we'll make our way into the old town and then we'll go up to the Abbey. How does that sound? When we've been up to the Abbey, we'll have a look round. You can't actually get in, they're charging you 16 quid to get to see the ruins, so I'm not going to go in. The ruins can easily be seen on Google. But I'll show you St. Mary's Church, which is the church built from the stone of the ruins of the Abbey, which was destroyed by King Henry VIII in the 16th century during the Reformation. But we'll see when we come to that. It's all good stuff. History is always good. You know, from Sunday, I'll be back to my normal times. You'll no doubt be happy to hear. So on the way, after we've been on the riverside, we'll go up Caedamon's Trod. Now Caedamon was a poet during the Anglo-Saxon period, during the Dark Ages, which were like between the Romans leaving Britain in whenever it were 400 AD and the Middle Ages. Very few people at that time could read and write. You had people like the Venerable Bede and in Lindisfarne, St Hilda in Whitby, but very, very few people were able to read and write. So Caedamon, the local poet, was one of those few people. The local school were called Caedamon School after Caedamon, and for the reasons best known to themselves and North Yorkshire Council, the name was changed to Whitby School. Amazing, eh? So we're going to go down to the bridge, but we're not going over the bridge. We're going to do something else instead. We're going to go under the bridge. We'll go a little way into the whatever it's called, into this nature reserve, and I'll show you the railway viaduct which contains a cinder track, what we were talking about yesterday. I might go on it or I might not go on it tomorrow, we'll see, depends what we're doing. Why would I not want to live stream where I am right now? Why is it dangerous? Hi Edward, how are you? You don't need to warn me about anything. Hi the guards. You don't need to, nobody needs to warn me about anything. I know where I am, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing. I'm in absolutely no danger. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go down into this nature reserve on the side, on the bank of a river Esk. Bit crap getting down. Oops. But once we're down, it's okay. Me and Toby came down here this morning, but the swine weren't going to come out again. Made it very clear. Dug in, nope. Pulled him a bit more, nope. Pulled him a bit more, nope. Now this takes you into a nature reserve. At the bottom of it is a river-esque. You've been cutting the edge, have you? Oh. Sounds like hard work. I'm riding footy. How are you? It's a lovely evening tonight here in Whitby. Yeah, I tested my blood sugar when I got home. I knew it were high. 6.9, and I put that down to having a cheese and onion pasty and a vanilla slice from Coupland's. Well, remember that bridge we walked over the other day? There you go. I'll give you a better look at it in a minute. And we'll look at the Larpool Viaduct, although we won't be going on it today. This is called Whitehall Landing. When we get further on, I'll tell you a bit about the history of Whitehall Landing. It is interesting. I only found out today. Now this, you could be, I had Toby with me this morning. Good. It's always good having Toby. But, and here's the thing, on this path it's great, but you come to a point where you've got to climb, and I thought you've got to keep your dogs on a lead because it's an area of scientific interest. We don't want your dogs running free. And I thought, and I got so far me climbing, and I thought, if I lose my footing, or a fall, I might not have any phone. I might not be able to phone out or do 3 words or anything. So I decided to do the right thing and come back. So I don't know how far I'm going to have an internet access. So far I'm okay, but I may lose that. So if I think I'm going to lose it, I'm just going to turn around. It's not important to come down here. I just want to show you the viaduct, the Larpool Viaduct. There's your river. That's your river-esque for tides in. This morning it was just like a little stream. We've all sorts of creatures on here, and that's why to keep Toby on his lead and close to me. There we go, the Larpool Viaduct. We can see it. It's raising its head over there. Centre of the screen if you look. But we'll get a better view in a moment. Now that would have been the Whitby to Scarborough line, which goes through Robin Hood's Bay, if anyone's interested. Oscar, Robin Hood's Bay. and down to Scarborough. But that line's been closed possibly since the very early 1960s. Just look at the river. Should have seen it this morning. It were mainly mud flats. Up there is Larpool Road, which is where we're stopping. There you go. It's really something, isn't it? Structure like that would have been built in the late 19th century. So me and Toby walked up here this morning. We thought, wow, this is absolutely beyond compare. We thought we were going to walk underneath the arches there. We thought, this is absolutely amazing. We were both happy. He were happy, I were happy. Thought, God, look at that. You know, we're almost there. We're going to walk underneath those arches. How good can it get, we thought. No, it's not, Night Rider. Where is this, mate? This is in Whitby. And that is the River Esk, what you see. And that is the Larpool Viaduct. It used to carry trains. Were built in probably the 1860s, something like that. But the line were closed in the 1960s. I'm not entirely sure of the date, but probably one of the beaching cuts of 1964, 65. May even have been before that. And you can walk over it now. It's called the Cinder Track. I intend doing that this week sometime. Try and get the Toblerone out. Tonight I just wasn't going to have it at all. Now, I think the one you're looking at for canal boats, I think that's at Falkirk in Scotland. But there'll be other ones as well. I'm thinking, wow, we're coming up to the bridge. We've come up to that viaduct. Wow, this can't be bad. And someone's took the trouble, look, to pave it. Wow, here's me thinking, you know, I can't wait to get there. So I carried on walking. There's your viaduct, look at that. Really enjoying it. Look, another proper bridge that somebody's made. You can even hold on to something. And then we came here. A great big door. Thought, wow. Now what? Closed circuit television. So you can see us. So what do we do? And then I saw this. And we climbed up. We went up to about there. And I thought, that's enough. Ah, Night Rider. You're talking about Stockport. Oh no, what we want at Stockport. I should imagine there's quite a lot within Greater Manchester, to be honest. You're probably right. I mean, yeah, you will be right, but I don't know offhand which one that will be. But we're at the other side of the country to Greater Manchester. We're about 120, 130 miles east of Greater Manchester, well, northeast of Greater Manchester. Whitby, we're on the North Sea coast. So, hi, Jordan. It is lovely. Yeah, there'll be quite a lot of them. One I would tell you about is the Ribblesdale Viaduct. That's worth a look at, and it's still used on the Leeds Settle Carlisle Railway, just northwest of Hellifield. That's well worth a look at. I should imagine it is biblical. Yeah, but this is like a nature reserve. It's called Whitehall Landing. You know, the other night when we went over that bridge, that big bridge, that one, well, we're going to go under it in a minute. And in for another surprise, we're going to go up to the Abbey. And we're going to follow the trail of Caedamon, who was Britain's first Anglo-Saxon poet. So that should be interesting. And then we'll have a look at, I'm not going to go in to where the Abbey is. Reason being, 16 quid just to look at the ruin. Don't think so somehow, especially when I know what it's about anyway. That's one on the hill I've been showing you. So we're going to go up to it. So I'm going to climb all them stairs so you don't have to. How does that sound? Yeah, we're in Whitby at the moment, Sammy. How are you? 16 quid biblical images. Well, exactly. So I can take you up there and I can show it you. I can climb all them steps so you don't have to. I can enjoy doing that. But I wouldn't enjoy forking out 16 quid just to look at a ruin when I can see some of it without paying, and the rest of it, well, I can check out on Google. If it were a fiver or something, I'd be good with it. 16 quid. Bit much. Just lovely, isn't it? You know, the old Duchess would have loved this once over. But she couldn't get down here. There'd be no way she'd be able to, but at one time, she'd have loved it. Well, Edward, I checked my diabetes levels when I got home. I knew my blood sugars were high. It's my own fault. Cheese pasty, followed by a vanilla slice. I knew my blood sugars were high because you can taste it. It tastes like I've been chomping on the insoles of a runner's trainer. To be honest, Carla, you would be pretty safe on here. Yeah, that's right, biblical. Yes. Yeah. No, I'm not worried, but I'm not having my tea until I bring my blood sugars down to below 6. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. But honestly, along here, trust me, you would not come to any harm. Who uses this path? Well, me. And this morning I saw a couple of other dog walkers. One of them was a woman, the other a guy, and the dogs were lovely. So I don't think you're probably in more danger in a city walking around than what you would ever be around here, if that makes sense. There you go, guys, look at the height of that. You got them people up there. Just look at the height. So I showed you the other day what the marina and Whitby Harbour looked like, didn't I? From the top of that bridge. So today we're walking under it. I know my blood sugars are coming down now because that nasty taste I had in my mouth and on my lips, it's beginning to go. Which is a good sign, really. So I don't know what my blood sugars are now, probably about 6.7 or 6.8, but it's certainly going down. You know, it's hard to keep to a routine when you're on holiday, isn't it? Last night we had fish and chips. My blood sugars were up to 7.8, so I reluctantly took one of my tablets. JFK, where is Toby? Oh, that is a long story. I came out, and as soon as I come out, he dug in. So I took him a bit further, he dug in again. 3 times he dug in. So I turned around to go home, and he chomped at the lead. He wanted to go home. So I took the swine home, and I came out again. He'll be sulking now because I've left him at home with his mother. Right, this is the landing. Now, this is quite interesting, Whitehall Landing. There used to be 4 or 5 shipyards on here. That's a marina, as you can see. There used to be 4 or 5 shipyards between like the early 18th century and the late 19th century. 4 of them have closed down. What did it? There were competition from other ports like Newcastle, Sunderland, Hartlepool, so on. But also they built the bridge. You know the bridge that goes across the Esk? We went over it yesterday and the day before. That. So that limited the size of ship that could be built. And that was like in the 1880s, I think. So when that meant we just weren't getting any orders. We had a brief renaissance during the First World War where they were building steel and concrete boats Now you might recall, I've shown you those, or some like them at any rate, over at Paul. It's on one of my videos, if you've not seen it. Boats made of concrete. And again in the Second World War, a bit of a renaissance, building like patrol boats and things. But then, after the war, nothing. And it was all closed down in the 1950s. Now, it was just left derelict, more or less. In the 2000s, they built all these flats, this development. So we regenerated the area. We've still got one shipyard, which is just over here. We've seen it, we saw it yesterday, and we saw it the day before. And presumably we'll see it again in a moment. There you go. You can see a ship at the building there. You got a huge almighty crane they use. And they build the ships in that building, that white building. Hi, Jack. Dr. Billy Bob, you recognise that we're in Whitby? Haha, yeah, beef tripping, yep. That is lovely. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree with you there, Biblical, about what you said about Wantage and Alfred the Great. It is good to walk in their footsteps, you're quite right. You've not missed a lot. You've not missed that much yet. But I've not got Toby with me. I was telling the others what happened. Came out. And then we get to the bottom of the road where we're staying. And he digs in. Swine he is. He just dug in. So I got him to walk a bit more. He dug in. 3 times he dug in. So I turned around to see if he'd go back home. He bolted, he ran back home. He wanted to go back home to his mother. He didn't want to come out. I think he might be frightened of missing some food or something like that. You know, Sir Toby, knight of the valiant, knight of the kitchen table and all that. Sheerness, yes. Yeah, you're probably right there, Sammy. You're probably right. I just wanted a lazy day. Earlier on, we went to Redcar, the South Gar. He was in the car. We got him out for a walk. But we weren't out more than like 10 minutes. I had Nicola with me and Pat. Pat's not really able to walk. Nicola's not a walker, so we weren't have a car long. Anyway, we got back home, so I've ended up leaving everybody at home and coming out with you lot. So it's still good, even without Toby. All right, that sounds good to me, Jack. So everybody's at it. Some more boats. Right, we'll get to the clever bit in a moment. Where we're going to follow the footsteps of that awesome poet, Caedamon. We're not there yet. And then what we'll do, we'll visit the Abbey and what used to be the Cholmondeley residence. From about 1537, the Cholmondeleys bought the land of King Henry VIII after the dissolution of the abbeys, and they built a house, and I think they lived there. One part of it were destroyed by lightning, and they lived in the rest of it, I think, until probably the 1950s. The Cholmondeley family. You've certainly got some money around here, and you've certainly got some old, rich families. It could be that Jack, could very well be. He decided he's going to protect the Duchess and Nicola. So this is the boatyard, the one boatyard that's left. It sounds busy, doesn't it? There's definitely work going on in there. You can't actually see what they're doing, but you can certainly hear work being done. See Parkhall Marine. You can't actually see anything. Pity really, I'd love to get a look in there. But down here you'll get a real treat in a moment. There you go. A boat. Hi Jeff, this sweet. We're at Whitby in Yorkshire in the UK. Hi Dave. Yeah, it's been an absolutely glorious day today, Dave. Yeah, United Kingdom. That's right. See more boats in the marina. It'd be lovely to have one of them boats. Just how clear the river is. The tide's in at the moment. Just look how clear it is. The reflections. All right, mate. All them boats. Yeah, I suppose you could say that, Chief. All right. We get robbed all the while. Yeah, Lord's Stadium. No, that's in London, Lord's. North London. We're about 180, 190 miles north of London. Something like that. If you look at a map of the United Kingdom, we're about just under halfway from the bottom to the top. And we're on the coast, the North Sea coast. Google Whitby, Whitby, and you'll find it. We're a long way from Lords. Look at the gull. There he goes. King of a castle. And over there you've got your Bark Endeavour replica, the HM Bark Endeavour replica. That's Captain Cook's ship. What he discovered Australia in. That's kind of like a bar and a bit of a restaurant. Well, I'm glad you like it, Edward. It is. It's so placid. The river, isn't it? There's no wind or anything. The best bit's yet to come. I don't know what this building is, but it's something to do with the Navy. If you look at the top, you got the anchor and you got some guns. And on the doorway, again, you got these anchors. So this would have had something to do with the Navy at some time, but I don't know quite what it is. See an anchor there. So I don't quite know what it's supposed to be. Private property, residents only. So I think it could be like a almshouses for ex-sailors, perhaps. Warning, no stupid people, fair enough. Can't moan at that, can I? This might tell us a bit. There you go. Whitby Merchant Seamen's Hospital Houses. Founded in 1675 and refurbished in 1996. Amazing. It is, isn't it? It's very old. I mean, what did it say? 1688. So that's really, really, really very old, isn't it? And it's like a housing for old seamen, nowhere to go. Local men who were seamen, and that, I don't suppose it's that now. suppose you buy a house in it and an apartment in there, and it costs you the earth. Yeah, some of the... Let's look at that. I think that might be public housing, what we call council housing. It's not for me. Climbing all them stairs somehow, I don't think so. Certainly Duchess wouldn't be able to do it. A vape shop. Nice little tea room. You know, there's always something new to see, isn't there? Yeah, that's your eyes. Yeah, I love stuff like this. No, fair enough, DK, founded, but not, yeah. But that is an old building looking at it. So to be honest, I would not be surprised. Yeah, I just wouldn't be surprised at all if it was, but looking at the brickwork and things, the windows, the shapes of them, it's certainly 17th century. So I wouldn't be surprised that if it were, you know, I don't know, but I just wouldn't be surprised. It's certainly been around a long time. I'm going to come to this bookshop. I might just get something for me grandkids. The Snorrer and the Sailor. The map book I like. Through the Fairy Door. Van Dog. I might just come and get something for them. Right. We're nearly where I want us to be, where we're going to follow Caedamon's footsteps. He keeps cropping up as Caedamon, doesn't he? Right, here we go, Green's Yard. This is where we're going to go. And that's where we're going to end up. Yeah. Yeah, so that takes us to 1796 biblical, yeah. Yeah, we're going that way ourselves, Starmy. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to march up these steps. This isn't the famous 199. But it probably isn't so far off. So this is where Caedamon would have gone. We're already climbing, look. There's Westcliff over there. Evening. I'll try and get some links so you can look back on it. To give you an idea of where we've come from, there's the bridge, and we went under that. You remember we went on Whitehall Landing, which is down there. You've got the shipyard, the houses built on the old shipyard, and you got the bridge which we went under. So that gives you some idea of where we've come. And my our bungalow is on that estate. No, it isn't, Guy. We'll come down the 199 steps. What we're doing now, it's called Caedamon Trod. And we're kind of walking in the footsteps of Caedamon. It's good, it really is. There we go. Lady walking a dog. It's a lovely evening. I wish Toby had come, but he decided he wasn't, so. Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. You look back on things and you think, wow. It's the same over here when I see stuff being built now. It's not just America, it's over here. A few years ago, went to my mate's house, Paul. He lives in Salford. And at the time, he was thinking about getting married to this girl, and she had a child. It didn't work out, but that's a totally different story. Now, he was thinking of buying a detached executive house. I think this is about 8 years ago. I think at that time it was probably about £240,000. So you're looking at $350,000. Now it had 3 bedrooms, a master bathroom, house bathroom, kitchen and living room were all one as a living space. But it was tiny. And I mean, absolutely tiny. The bedrooms, yeah, like a box room. You get a single bed in there. The second bedroom, yeah, you would get a single bed in, but that would be it. The third bedroom, you know, the big master bedroom, you'd be good for a double bed. But if you wanted a king size or something like that, you know, a really big bed, you'd be struggling. You wouldn't get it in. And we just looked at it, me and Paul, and thought, I don't know what we thought. What is the point? Right. So we're going to walk up here. And you're going to get a really good panoramic view of Whitby. You'll also see, and I've got lots of pictures of this, which I'm going to upload to my channel at some point. Whether I do it tonight or I do it when I get home, I don't know, we'll see. But I've lots and lots of pictures of it. What I should have done is took the gimbal out. But I didn't, and I could have took some video, which would have meant tonight we could have gone somewhere else perhaps. But anyway, it is what it is. I took the gimbal with me to the South Gar in Redcar. Yep, I did. And we're now on Caedamon's Trod, by the way. I took the gimbal. There's your Abbey. And I didn't do anything with it. We have a youth hostel up here. I look at these places and I think I only wish I'd have had my driving licence when the kids were young and the Duchess was young, I was young, and dinosaurs ruled the earth. Think of the places we could have gone, the things we would have seen. It'd have been amazing. But life's funny, isn't it? It is what it is. Yeah, so I don't want to bang my head. Right. Now this house here, it was owned by the Cholmondeley family. Now the Cholmondeley family bought the land from King Henry VIII. It's now used as a youth hostel. You look at that. The Cholmondeleys built it using the bricks, the stone, from the monastery. And they lived in, they also built another wing to it. But that was hit by lightning, which destroyed it. But the family continued to live here. And this will be the wing. And then it was left to go derelict in the 19th century. And then later on, it was rescued. And now it's a youth hostel. See lots and lots of people here.
All right, see you later. Bye bye.
Just then, one of Eric's men shouted out, "It's a trick!" They pointed to the island, which they'd reached by now, and they all saw it wasn't an island.
Got loads of kiddie winks, so I need to do.
Four
I need.
times as long as the Golden Dragon, and 4 times as high as her mainmast. "Old man of the sea," called out Thorkild, "you didn't keep your side of the bargain, but I shall keep mine." And or anyone would stop and be left off the side of buildings.
Right, some kiddie winks with the teachers. Well, there you go, the piece de resistance. What do you make of that? That's a statue of a Roman gladiator, apparently. It was in Rome. This is the museum, the Abbey Museum. Again, it was part of, built with the Abbey stone and owned by the Cholmondeley family. Yeah, I've not seen that for years, Bewitched. I remember that back in the 60s. Yes, that's right. That is it. Edward, yeah, you got that. Yeah. I know. We got a load of school kids at the back of us as well, and this is reading to them. Not sure what she's reading. Probably Harry Potter or something. But we just very quietly walked past them, didn't take any pictures, and gave nobody anything to worry about. Don't worry. See this. So the Cholmondeleys lived in this house between the 16th and mid-16th and late 19th centuries. The family bought the abbey and most of its land following its dissolution by King Henry VIII. Now this was the abbot's house, one of their homes in 1672. So Hugh Cholmondeley added the impressive new wing in front of you. Its architectural style inspired by ancient Greece and Rome. I'll let you have a look at that. During a storm in 1790, the new wing lost its roof. Later generations of the family lived in the parts of the house that remained intact. In 2000, English Heritage carried out major renovations, converting the ruined building into a visitor centre and museum. The bronze figure is a copy of the statue that stood here in the 17th century. It is modelled on the Borgia's gladiator, an ancient marble statue discovered near Rome. It disappeared in the 18th century and we installed this copy in 2009. The large windows of the house were once filled with crossbar glazing. Yeah, that divided each window into 4 panes. The glass would have been extremely expensive in the 17th century, but use of material allowed light to flood the rooms. And that's kind of like a look at what it would have looked like before it lost its roof. So that was Hugh Cholmondeley. Well, I think what they've done, English Heritage, you've made sure you can't get past here to the Abbey unless you pay out the money. 16 quid. So that's what remains of the Abbey. That's what we're looking at. It's amazing, isn't it? In a way, it's good not having Toby with me at the moment because I have nothing to worry about. especially when we go down the 199 stairs in a minute. Gee. These are the Abbey cottages, so I don't know who lives in them or why or anything. I'm not going to intrude on their privacy though. You wouldn't expect me to, and I wouldn't do it. But I'll give you a quick look. But when you think how fantastically rich these abbeys would have been, and of course, this was like the headquarters of a church in Northumbria, you know, northern England, and it was Saint Hilda who held that synod. Remember we talked about that, where we decided what they were going to follow, whether it was St. Patrick and Gaelic Christianity, or they were going to follow Rome's lead and have the Pope as head of the church and follow Christianity, you know, Roman Catholicism. Which is funny because you've always had that line, if you will, between Europe and the UK. All of Europe belonged to Roman, you know, it was all Roman Catholic, apart from Ireland, and they had their own sort. And St. Patrick sent missionaries to northern England, and a lot of people agreed with him, and were happy with Gaelic Christianity. Yeah, let's look at that. Whew. Yeah, Rothay King, yeah, this is it, this is Whitby. Yeah. So I'm incorrect. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but this came later on. We're talking now before William the Conqueror. We're talking at the time of Bede at Lindisfarne. That's what we're talking about, Kat. But yeah, you are right though. Again, that's a rift between the UK and Europe. Yeah, probably. There's lots and lots of these abbeys up and down the country. Yeah, there's Fountains Abbey. That's another one we'll go to one day. But there's quite a lot. And they were just totally destroyed by Henry VIII. So yeah, if you hadn't have had Henry VIII and Britain was still a Roman Catholic country, then yeah, they would all these abbeys would still be around. You know, you are right. So this is the opening times of Whitby Abbey. That's a picture of it. That's what it looks like if you get to the other side of that wall. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So what we're going to do now, Dwayne, Guy, Jack, Sami, we're going to look at this place, this church here, and this is St. Mary's, St. Mary the Virgin. And, you know, I'm not religious, I'm Jewish, I'm not even a Christian, but all this is interesting. It's all history. It's all important. And it doesn't matter what religion you are or what you think of religion. This is what made England. Now, this church, again, was built with the stones that were left of Whitby, of the Abbey. Now, the sad thing is, recently, somebody tried to break in. Why you do that, I just don't know. This is part of our collective history. So why anybody would... I'm going to walk over here a little bit so you can actually see it. I will walk further down to give you a better view. Yeah, but why anybody would do it, I just, it's just beyond my understanding. It really is. See, there's a note on here. We broke the door there. There's the other door. We apologise. They've nothing to apologise for the state of our porch gates, as we have had an attempted break-in. Right, it was right. That was William and Mary Stuart. Henry VIII, as you know, dissolved all the monasteries. His next of kin, or his successor, was Elizabeth. Remember we were down there yesterday and Toby got upset? Somebody in the canoe. There you go. A boat there. That's your south pier and your north pier. And we're going to go down there in a bit. Right, so going back to the story. So Henry VIII dissolves all the monasteries. He wanted to get married under Roman Catholic law. You can't get married again unless your wife dies or something like that. You don't consummate your marriage. Anyway, he got married 6 times. The Roman Catholic Church had had enough of him. And he said, that's it. Catholics out. You're finished. We're going to have our own religion, Church of England, and I will be its head. That was what he said. So that was the end, or sort of the end of it was the end of Roman Catholicism being the state religion. Now this caused a rumpus. His first queen was Queen Mary. Queen Mary was his daughter to his first wife, and she was Catholic, and she wanted to turn England Catholic again. Queen Elizabeth, his other daughter, had Queen Mary executed in the Tower, and she became queen. There you go, that's another view of it all. Stand on it. I don't know I'll be able to see much more, but we can try. Now, when Queen Elizabeth died, you got James I, James VI of Scotland, James Stuart, who was the cousin of Queen Elizabeth. He was the next of kin because Queen Elizabeth never married, so she had no children. There's your church again. Let's look at that. No, that's true. So she has no kids. There's no issue at all. She never gets married, has no kids. Now, after that, James I of England, James VI of Scotland, her cousin, becomes King of England. Now, James is a Catholic, but he doesn't try to turn England into a Catholic state. Now, his son, I think it was Charles I, was after England becoming Charles, it was a Tudor. I just need to check this up. The Stuart Kings are offline. Right, I've got no. Unfortunately, I don't have any internet access up here. But anyhow, James I became king, and he was a Catholic. And then Charles II, no, that's like James I, Cromwell deposed him. And Britain became the Commonwealth. At the end of that, things were still pretty bad. The next in line was Charles II. Now this is your 199 step ski. Dwayne, Jack, let's get this view. It's like a pilgrimage to come up here. You certainly know when you've walked it. So what happened then? He was deposed. He had his head. He was executed, and off with his head. Now, after Oliver Cromwell, you got I think it was James II. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. I think it was James II. And then you got Charles II with the restoration of the monarchy. Now he said, I will never make Britain a Catholic country. Oh, poor fella.
Come on, you.
Can you have a treat?
Yeah, of course, can you?
What have I got for you? You deserve this.
What's he got? Sit.
Hello, I've got something for you. Yeah, I
Nice.
definitely have. That's my job in life, giving dogs treats.
You be nice.
There you go.
Oh, thank you very much, mate.
Very
You
welcome.
have a good day, mate. Thank you very much.
My dog wouldn't come out with me. He's a swine. See you later. Yeah, so the monarchy gets restored under Charles II. Now, after that, there are no children. There's no issue. Oh, I'm falling all over. There's no issue. So because there's no issue, they have to find somebody else. All you've got is Mary. There is no sons, just a female, Mary, Queen Mary. And she married King William of Holland. So you got William and Mary as King and Queen of the UK. And I think he were William the Third, because William IV came before Queen Victoria. You'll get there. So that's basically what happened. I could tell it better if I'd have written it all down, to be honest. I never thought of looking at it because this isn't part of tonight's story, but yeah, that's what happened. So then there was another civil war between England and Scotland. If you've heard of Bonnie Prince Charlie,
Hey. Oh, wow. That's what I'm saying. When we get up,
you'll get there. Take it easy. It's harder coming down than going up.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Hard to believe.
I've got bad
I'm just going to throw myself down.
Enjoy anyway.
You too, thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. We're coming back into Whitby town at the old town now. But so that's what happened. And when he got Bonnie Prince Charlie, he was supported by the French. William and Mary, they landed. They had their army, and they took Britain. And Britain became a definite Protestant country. We've always had this rift with Europe, and we always will. This is one of the reasons being part of the European Union never really worked for us. Well, we're nearly at the bottom of the 199 steps. This morning, me and Toby walked up them. That was a job. Yeah, there's American people climbing up. Yeah. Oh, look at my dog. Well, I no longer have that nasty taste in my mouth, but my mouth's dry. It's not that much of a problem. But I know my blood sugars have come back down, which is good. So when I get home, it'll be about 5.5, I think. How far have I walked today? 9.5 miles. So I'm sure Sammy will like this shop. You've got amber, and on the Baltic coast you've lots and lots of amber. My mum always liked this shop. I bought her a dragonfly. Brooch, they were lovely. Don't know how much it'd be now. I think it was about £170 then. We have it at home. It'll go to my granddaughter. Cufflinks, yeah, I'm a great lover of cufflinks. £245. So about $310, $320. Oh, amethyst over there, look. It was 1,200. Now we're asking 600. This is jet. At one time, we used to have a lot of Whitby jet in Whitby, but that's all gone now. So they import this from wherever they can get it. Hello. Can she have a drink? Can she have a treat?
No, she said she's had quite a bit.
No, that's fair enough, love. I always ask.
Oh, no,
I'm a bit of a soft touch where there's dogs.
I know what you mean.
My dog wouldn't come out with me tonight.
Oh.
We came out and he dug in. Took him a bit further, he dug in. So I thought, do you want to go home? And he ran home back to his mother.
Yeah. Oh, they've got a mind of their own.
Oh, he's a swine. That's why I've gone grey. But we love it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's part of the family, isn't it?
It is. That's it. You're gorgeous too. But I can't give you a treat because your mum said.
I think you're the first.
Yeah. See you again, love. Yeah, that shop, my mum always liked going in that shop. I can't remember now, I think it was her 70th birthday, I don't know. But we bought her this dragonfly, amber dragonfly. All her jewellery, and most of my wife's jewellery. My old size is £10. Don't know if the Duchess would wear them or not. £29 for them walking boots, that's not bad. Brogues, £25. You can't moan at that, you know. A pair of brogues for £25. I might get myself a pair of them. Lots and lots of galleries and individual shops here. I love the puffins and the owl. Why is that? How does that happen? It is a great place. I had it. Ah, right, because I've come right from the top right down to sea level. Got you. Yeah. Well, it's all uphill and down dale here. So we've done it again. A circle. We went up them steps, we followed the steps of Caedamon on his Trod. And then after that, up to the Abbey, St Mary's Church, St Mary's Church, and then down through the old town. And that brings us back to the Green Gates where we started. Little Jack there. Skincare, if anybody's interested in skincare. I don't know if any of it works. I have a load of allergies. I use the old Duchess's Dove when I get washed and things like that. Earrings, again it's Whitby Jet and amber. 90, I don't know how much. Got that £250 for that beetle. How much my mum's dragonfly costs now, I've no idea. There's your Whitby steps, what we've just been down. There you go, that's Whitby. That's actually Staith's. See. £360 if you want that. And there's the Abbey. That's what the Abbey looks like. Yeah, I know you got a Whitby in, but you know now where Whitby in Canada, you know where its roots are. That's the thing, and you know at least what it looks like. So what we're going to do now, we're going to meander around the old town. We'll have a look at that boat, the Captain Cook, you know, the Endeavour bark replica. And then after that, what we'll do, we'll just meander on the river. And then we'll make our way and cross that big bridge again. Kids. The Dolphin Pub, I believe it's nice in there. So we're going to walk at some point. I don't know whether we can do it or not.
Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, I think we'll walk back the normal way past Pannock Park, because I think if I go down here I'm going to get stuck and I will not be able to get back up. Yeah, one of the herring girls. There's a story behind that as well. I'll tell you about that. She's what you call a fishwife. What these women used to do, they start off in places like Fraserburgh in Scotland. And then as husbands, the fishermen, were on board ships, the trawlers, catching the fish. We'd unload the fish at all the ports going down the east coast. And the women, they'd be the ones who would sell the fish. They'd sell the fish in the markets, you know, to the traders and people. They'd look after that side of things. They'd know which port the husband's ship is going to pull into next, and they would make their way there, and they would wait. And then the husband would pull in at the next port. Say from Whitby, the next port might be Hull, and then the next one after, or Grimsby, and then the next one after that might be Great Yarmouth. And the women would be there. They'd help unload the fish. Now, some of the local wildlife. There's my favourite, the seals. And then they'd help unload, and then again get the fish to market. The husbands are away now in the ship or the trawler for the next catch, and the one after, and the one after that. And they would keep on. Well, the wives were selling the fish, sell the fish, move to the next port, and so on. Of course, it doesn't happen now. Now that boat there, the HM Bark Endeavour replica, there's two. There's one in Australia, which is the real one, and then you've got this thing here. Now, this was actually moored up in Hartlepool Harbour for, I don't know how long, for years and years and years. And somebody's bought it and brought it here to Whitby in Endeavour. This is where the Endeavour set off from. It's called Endeavour Wharf. Set it up here as a restaurant. How good or how bad it is, I don't know. But it's got a steel frame, I do know that. So it's not like the HM Endeavour Bark replica, which is built with exactly the same type of wood and everything else. There you go. There's some information on it. Built in 1993 in Stockton-on-Tees, close to the birthplace of Captain James Cook. The steel-hulled Endeavour replica. Well, the original Endeavour didn't have a steel hull. It was brought here on June the 1st, 2018. It was spent 1.2 million on it. It's now owned by Dean Heslop. It's from delicious dining experiences to hosting unforgettable events. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say good luck to them. Why not? They're not really dear. Look at some of the prices. Beef lasagna, £16.95. It's not dear, really. Light bites and butty with chips and salad, £8.95. Pizza margarita, £12.50. About 18 quid, $18 if you're in America. But it's not open. No. So I guess it is what it is. Another one of the many cafes and restaurants. This is the Duchess's favourite. Crossfair, trenchers. They are expensive, but it is nice. It's a nice environment and it's nice food. You got Whitby Station in front of us, built by the North Eastern Railway in the 1860s. We went on there the other day when it was raining, do you remember? The shower came from nowhere, didn't it? It was just there. And me and Toby had to get out of the wet. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to walk up a long side street rather than just go the way we went before. Just something a little bit different. Well, I've done 10 miles today, so I'm happy enough with that. Well, again, Whitby Station. Now, it used to be an Indian restaurant at one time. We'll walk over by the side of a railway station. I think when we get past the station itself, we should get some views of the river. Where's your job centre? Not very big. I'm going to cross over. I've never been in this library, but it's only a small one, so. But yeah, I once drove up here, so I know roughly where I am and where I'm going. Just looking for somewhere to tie my shoelace. So where are we going? You see up there? That's where we're going. But we're on the other side of the river. So to get there, we have to cross the bridge. So, you know, that's another circle we've done, isn't it? Like 2 concentric circles. I'm looking for a step where I can actually do my shoelace, and I think there's some here. I think these are council houses. You know what we were talking about before? Public housing, as we do in America. Britain, we call them council houses. A lot of them have been sold off, either to the residents. So I'm just tying my shoelace. That'll do me. Either to the residents, or landlords have bought them and they rent them out. We got 2 dogs coming up and 2 people. Hello. No, it's all right. Don't worry. Can I film them? Not film. I'll film your dogs. Fair enough, then. Can I give your dogs a treat? Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not filming. If I film it, it's not been purpose.
It was just the way you carrying it round.
Hello, sweetheart.
Oh, that's kind.
And you as well. Don't leave anybody out. Don't worry, you will get.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You know, I tried to bring my dog out with me, and he decided he weren't coming out. He stayed in with his mum instead. He's a swine. But I've got the treat, so why not? You're welcome. Bye. Dogs were lovely. It's what I do, give dogs treats. You didn't want to be filmed though. Fair enough. So I'll film your dogs, not you. And she said, well, no, he didn't want me to film the dogs. I'm not saying anything. Can you imagine the poor ducks just trying to get up these? Oh my God. Keep safe in Syria. Why would you say keep safe in Syria? I don't get it.
Hello?
I'm in Whitby, Yorkshire, the UK. And there is that big bridge. Train's just coming, which we have to cross in a moment. So I can do one or two things. I can either go down here and hope I can get up further on, or I can just simply cut my losses and go straight up North Road. I know where this will bring me out. It's a bit of a schlep, but I know I can do it. So this is Whitby. I could probably have got down there actually, but I don't know. It's a bit of a climb. You know, I've not really climbed many hills since leaving Burnley. So this is really good exercise. Through traffic. No, my luck, I'll have to come back. No, I'm going up. Look at the view down there. Hi Jason. I love Scarborough and I love Whitby. This is interesting for you. You know, I told you about Bram Stoker writing the book Dracula. We got Dracula rooms there. I love Whitby too. Okay, Jason, yep. No, it wouldn't. Mind you, yeah, no, you're right. That is a plus. I don't need it, but I'm fine. At 71, I know I can do it. It's just amazing that. I'm 72 in November, and I can still I get a bit breathless sometimes, but at 72. Right, so we're going to go down here. I have a feeling this will bring us out eventually where we need to be. You know, down here you could be in any northern English town. It's what northern England looks like. Doesn't matter whether you're in Burnley or Whitby or Halifax or Huddersfield. Remember that sign what said through traffic? We should perhaps have took that road. Never mind though. We've seen bits of Whitby that we wouldn't normally see. Scotsby Terrace. No, we'll walk down here and we'll see. Raglan Terrace, all famous names. Right. No internet, so I can't get me that proper directions. I think this will do it actually. So I know where I'm meant to be. But I just wanted to try something different. The main road, I think, is just up here. And there's the bridge that we need to cross. Now this road will just take you into the school. So we'll go up here, walk down, and then walk over that bridge. So I'm going uphill again. Well, it's certainly been a walk, hasn't it? No, I'm all right, Guy. I'm all right. I know where I am now. It was just in those terraces, I just wasn't sure. No, I know that. I had my car anyway. We got a car. But even so, I'm an old age pensioner. So I get a free bus pass. So if I wanted to go to Scarborough on the bus, it wouldn't actually cost me anything. No, I'm okay. I'm good now. I know where I am. It was just in them little terrace. What I should have done when it said through traffic this way, I should have followed that. And I thought I'd be able to get through a snicket or something further up, but I couldn't. So I got lost in those terrace streets, Guy. But I'm fine now. I know where I am. I've sort of done what I wanted to do, but not in the way I wanted to do it, if that makes sense. How's this for ornate gates? My God. Look at those. Aerial Manor. Look at those gates. Wow. Right, you know where we are now? We just walk straight down now, and that takes us over that bridge where you get the panoramic view of Whitby. So I got to where I needed to be, or where I wanted to be. I knew where I was going, but I had to figure it out. Most of it I was fine. 10% of it I struggled. Well, don't forget I've been walking like this for the last 12 months. Even when my foot were really bad, I was still putting in 4 or 5 miles a day. It's still not 100% right, but it's getting there. Right. No, I know that. I was just a little at the time when them terrace streets. I wouldn't say, yeah, I were a bit confused as to where I were going and how I had to do it. What I'd wanted to do, and I thought I can't do it, I won't be able to do it, and that is walk down on the other side of a river. They let me do it so far, but I wasn't sure how far I'd be able to do it, to what extent I could. I know now, and I will do it. Now, one of them primary schools you've got over here, what used to be called Caedamon, which is just at the bottom here, and you've another one on the other side of this banking called Ariel or something. So what we're going to do now is just carry on walking. We're going to enjoy the scenic view. When we get to the bridge, we'll walk over it and we'll make our way to Larpool Road. And Guy, just out of interest, you know we were talking about the cinder trail. I found it. I know where it is. So I want to go and check it out first. And then once I've checked it out, we'll take a walk along it. You see that spire right the way over there, centre of the screen? That's where we've got to get to. Just past that. I think we'll have managed 12 mile when I get home. today. There's been a fair old walk though, uphill, down dale, up the steps, treading in the footsteps of Caedamon, the Abbey, looking at St Mary's, which were built from its stones, and the Cholmondeley's house. History behind that, but buying it off Henry VIII after the Reformation. We've talked about all sorts of things, haven't we? How Britain became Protestant, how we ended up with King William III from Holland. We were married to Mary Stuart. How they kept Britain a Protestant country. Nice motor. Yeah, it's a DAF. I'm thinking, is that a DAF? It is a DAF. Quite a nice truck, that. If you're into trucks. It's made by DAF. They're owned by Packard, an American company who bought out Leyland and DAF. Just bits of useless information. But they bought them back in the 1990s. Both companies were pretty lackluster, and they made DAF into a company worth knowing. Now here's another footpath. I don't know where this goes. I'm not going to go down it too far, but I am going to have a quick look for future reference. I have an inkling this will take us back to the riverside. I don't know. We'll have a look. I'm not going to go down it a long way, but I certainly need to know. Hi mate, did this take you into Whitby town centre?
Yeah, just follow it straight down there.
Right, I know then for tomorrow when I'm bringing my dog.
Yeah, straight down there, just keep going.
Is it along the riverside?
Yeah. So if you go to the bottom here, and then there's like a little dirt track at the side when you get to the bottom. If you go down that,
Yeah.
you can cross over the train line, that takes you to the riverside.
Great.
All right, pal.
Thank you very much.
No worries, mate.
I know now. I'll do that tomorrow.
No worries, pal. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, and you too, my friend. Bye. Nice guy. See, you can go down on the. I'm not going to do it, but it's good to know. We can walk on this side of a river. I didn't think you could. You have a bus to Scarborough. The X93. There you go, Jason. The X93 has just gone past us. So if we cross over the river tomorrow, we can walk there. I'll do that with the Toblerone tomorrow morning. And then with you guys tomorrow evening, either with or without him. See how it goes. Yeah, because he said cross over the railway line just there. You can see where you cross, where you go down. And then we can walk by the side of a river on this side. How does that sound? And if you look over there, that canoe, or whatever it is, a boat. Is it, Jason? That might be the last bus then. I just saw it going past me. It's pretty early though for a last bus, isn't it? 10 to 8. Now we've got the X93 coming in. So I'm presuming that'll be probably one of the last buses back from Whitby, just from Scarborough to Whitby. There'll probably be another one, won't there? Well, I'd have thought the buses had run later than that, to be honest. There's another, look, there's some more of them. So I'm not sure what's going on. There's at least 3 lots. One, 2, 3 look. It's beautiful, isn't it, Guy? See 1, 2. I don't know where the third one is. I'm certainly enjoying the river. And there, you look up there, that is where we've just been. It has been a heck of a walk, but I've enjoyed it. Remember we went down there? Remember we walked? But what we did, if you remember, we walked on that path, and I was telling you about the shipyards, what were there. There were about 4 or 5, and what had happened, we'd all gone out of business. When they built the swing bridge, because they were limited on the size of ships they could build. And the shipyards were on this site where they built these apartment blocks. I'm going to cross over. No, I'll wait, I think. Because I know I'm going to be going up Larpool Road. And Gia, as I said, I found out the cinder trail. I will be taking a walk on it with the tow rag, if he goes out, just to work out where it is and where it goes. And then we'll follow that and see ourselves and explore it. That is just amazing, I think, today. So I've done 11.36 miles. Earlier on I showed you the viaduct, and the cinder trail goes above the viaduct on what used to be the Whitby to Scarborough railway line. Incredible. Incredibly, my foot, I wouldn't say it hurts, it doesn't hurt, but it feels a bit uncomfortable here and there. But I'm not bothered taking any painkillers or anything else for days. And to walk all this, it's amazing. So I should think I'm going to get some really good walks in when we get home. Due for another visit to Grimsby possibly, or maybe one to Lincoln for Edward. A walk around Lincoln City. What do you say to that, Edward? Well, I'm going to walk around the Crescent. Just have a look at it. So this is definitely a council estate, but a lot of people have bought their own houses. I mean, why would you not buy your own house if you lived in Whitby? You literally couldn't go wrong. Well, that'll be something Jack will remember. The old Mark II Land Rover. British military had a lot. That's old K registered. So that'll be 1972. So 50 odd year old and it's still running. Well, here we go. We've got the flags, eponymous flags to show Britain belongs to us, not the immigrants and what have you. Not that there's many immigrants around here. So the houses are quite nice, aren't they? I mean, it's a quiet area. And you would feel safe. And you feel comfortable living here, wouldn't you, really? The schools will be good. So you'll have no worry for your kids. I mean, why wouldn't you buy? You're going to get a discount from the council. Say the house is worth 280 and you get a 40% discount. And if you're not on a particularly high wage, it makes it affordable, doesn't it? And if you're both working, you can do things. Well, I've 17 calories to somehow get. Will I get them by the time I get home or not? I don't know. That's reached my target of 1,500 calories. Yeah, I'm still walking. I am Foxy Mixolog. Yeah, I'll do that for you, Edward. We'll go to Lincoln. Yep, there is cheap. That I think there's one there for £5. No, that's gone as that, Jack. Serving it in newspaper. No, you get it in a one of them tray. One of them plastic bloody polypropylene tray or whatever it is. Oh, Jason, Whitby is expensive. Yeah. Yeah, but if you're buying an ex-local authority, you know, council house, you're going to get a massive discount. So yeah, it is expensive, but you're going to get, I think it's, if you've been in there more than, say, I don't know, 10 years, I think, you get a 40% discount. So even at 200, I don't know what one of them houses had cost, but just say 200,000, you're going to get an £80,000 discount. So it's only going to be 120. And if both of you are working, even if you're working in low, you know, minimum wage jobs, your mortgage would be affordable, wouldn't it? Whereas if you were to buy, I don't know, one of these houses across here, probably £250,000, maybe 300,000 for one of these. I'll try and get a look at them for you. But before we do, just want to show you this. I'm fascinated each time I see it. Just look at that. Just amazing, isn't it? That's in the cemetery. Yeah, say you wanted one of these houses here. One of them. I think you'd be paying a lot more than that, wouldn't you? You'd be paying a lot more than you would for a former council house. And that, you know, and you'd have to find 100% of the purchase price. You wouldn't be getting a big discount. So that's the thing. So if you were to, just say the price is 250,000, and you'd have to find 250, you'd have to find the mortgage for it. 25,000 deposit or something, and then the rest on a mortgage. You'd struggle, unless you was on a really, really good salary. If you're a doctor or something like that, then yeah, you'd be okay. Or an engineer, something like that, you'd be fine. Well, I've done 1,500 calories, so I broke my record there. I'm not quite up to my 12 mile. But that's all right still. It's everything's good. Now further down here is the cinder track. So I'm not going to go too far down here, but just see if we can see the viaduct, because that's going to be another walk. I'm going to look at the map later and just see how it actually comes together. Cormorant Road. Now, so this is a new estate as well. Well, there's one good thing anyhow, and that is there's a bit of a pavement. Now, where we went on that nature trail, it would have come out here if I'd have continued to climb. But it would have been really difficult, especially with Toby. Down there you can see the river just about. A bit difficult through all this, but the river is there. So from this hill we should be able to work out where the viaduct is, and wherever the viaduct is, that should be roughly a cinder track. I just want to get a quick look at it to see if I can make sense of it. I'm not going to go too far. Well, there's your river. Look at that. I can believe it will. Oh, you are lucky to avoid snow, Sammy. Oh, I think I'd die at that. Ah, I've actually got it. Right, let's see if we can get a break. If we can get a break in the woods, we should be able to see the viaduct. And we can cross that viaduct. It was part of the Scarborough Railway up from Scarborough to Whitby. down there, but I don't think I'd fancy walking down there though. I'd probably end up going right in the river. Well, the good thing is I know of a reasonable idea where it comes out. The trouble is I can't show you, and I don't really want to go over there. I don't want to go too far down here, so I've only got to go back. The good thing is my foot isn't hurting. So it's going to be a fair walk tomorrow with Toby just down here, isn't it? Oh, look at the little bird. It's disappeared in there somewhere. Well, I'm not going to walk down there because it means walking back. But I definitely know we're about a quarter of an hour's walk to it, to the viaduct. Now, I do know that viaduct will take us back into Whitby. So that's a possibility for a walk for tomorrow night. I'm going to walk on this side because I'd rather than face traffic than it sneak up at the back of me, not see me till the last minute and hit me. So I'm okay with that. So me and Toby might do this tomorrow, stake it out, see what it's like, and walk on the cinder track. I'll look it up on the internet when I get home, and we'll see where we go. Good afternoon, Glenn. How are you? Long time no see. Yeah, I've not seen you for I've not seen you for we've not seen you for ages. So it's good. It's good to see you. It really is. Oh, how's that for a view? I don't know if I'll be able to do anything with it for you. I probably can't. That's going over the bridge and across the river, where we were, Whitehall Landing. Well, I've done 1,558 calories I burnt today. And we've got Larpool Hall, so I'm not sure what it is. Country house, guest accommodation. Might be interesting to look that up. Well, and here we are almost. Almost back at the police house. How's that? We're staying at the police house. Used to be the copper's house. Going back in the 60s, the police force provided houses for its officers. If any of you watch Heartbeat, you'll know there was a police house in Golfland in Aidensfield Village. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube for people like Jack. It goes, Heartbeat shows what a Yorkshire village was like. You get scenes of Whitby as well. Back in the 1960s, so it would be your time. So, this is Police House 1, what we're going past now. And this is Police House 1A. See my car's there, it's had a wash. It's asleep. And this is Police House 1A. And this is where we're stopping. So I'm just going to say to everybody, it's been a great walk, hasn't it? When you think of all what we've done. It's been amazing, hasn't it, really, what we've walked on the riverbank, up those steps to the Abbey. We followed the footsteps of Caedamon, the poet. We came back down through the old town. Again, we thought we got lost, and then we found ourselves and came over the bridge. And we know where the viaduct is, roughly. It's been absolutely amazing. Anna, I didn't know you were here. Are you okay? It's just been brilliant, and I've been really, really good. So I'm just going to say to everybody, thank you very much. Thank you for all your likes. Thank you. I love history. And thank you for everything, and all your likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, everything. It's been absolutely brilliant. So from me to everybody, I'm just going to say good night. Catch you all again tomorrow.